Welcome back to the Marvel Movie Minute, a daily podcast in which we smash apart the films of the Marvel Cinematic Universe into 1-minute chunks so we can analyze them in scrupulous detail. I'm Kyle Olson from the Road to Infinity podcast.
Hey, and I'm Rob Cabasco, and Kyle, all of us who are parents, so mothers and fathers, obviously when you have your children as they're growing up, you think back and harken back to some of the things from your childhood. You like to introduce some of that nostalgia into your child's playtime and development, right?
And discover some things do not age well.
Right. Oh, no, some things do not. Now, one of the things, and I will not list them all because I would like to save them for future episodes, but point back to minute 79, right? Like, here's the deal. One of my favorite things I had playing with my daughter Morgan was Shrinky Dinks.
Oh, yes. We found some Shrinky Dinks. Actually, we were just cleaning out the garage. We found the Shrinky Dinks we made. So cool.
They're okay, and and now you don't need, like, if you have a toaster oven, you're fine, right?
Yeah.
Like, toaster oven's completely fine. And one of the things that I love is you can buy now the Shrinky Dink paper. Tons of different places make it. Yep. You can put it through an inkjet printer. Print your designs on it. Oh, we did this all the time.
About that.
And then you let it dry, and then you color it all in. You make all different kinds of things. We had so much fun for, I think, maybe a summer, maybe 2 summers, just making tons of Shrinky Dink stuff. This minute is one big long Shrinky Dink.
That's true. So, for those of you who don't know what Shrinky Dinks are, and I can't imagine they're So Shrinky Dinks were something that were big when we were young. So I'd say in the late 70s, early 80s, they were a big thing. And their thing, they would have like characters printed on them already. So you like having, and then they start feel really thin like paper. And then when you put them in the oven for a certain amount of time, they would shrink, which is Shrinky Dink, that's where it comes from, and harden. So they would become like these small plastic charms, essentially. But you could draw whatever you wanted really big, and they would make like this hard keepsake thing. They're really cool. I think Klutz put out a book about Shrinky Dinks that you could develop different designs and ideas and stuff too. So. What are we talking about? Why does this apply? Well,
wait, hold on. Wait, I do want to give a shout out. They were invented in 1973 by 2 housewives by the name of Betty Morris. Betty, who says we don't connect the dots.
Right.
And then Kate Bloomberg of Brookfield, Wisconsin, has a Cub Scout project with their sons.
Couple of gals from Wisconsin came up with some Shrinky Dinks. Ain't that something?
That was good.
Well, I lived there for like 10 years, so
That's true.
I know the area.
Shrinky Dinks, go on Amazon or something.
Thank you to Betty and Kate for coming up with the Shrinky Dinks. That was so nice of you.
Thank you, ladies. And here we are. So, and now here we talk about it with the Incredible Hulk.
Here we go in minute 80 of Louis Leterrier's Incredible Hulk film from the far back year of 2008. So we're coming in after the Hulk has gotten the injection of the new solution, the antidote that Stearns had been hyping. And unlike most antidotes you get by meeting people on the internet, this one works. So as it's pumping into him, we see almost immediately that the reaction, like the Hulk felt it, and now everyone is seeing the results going on. So Stearns is checking the readouts, watching and seeing probably the concentrations in the blood as they're going down. Betty is focused on Bruce. So like Stearns is sort of like more about the data. Betty is like, are you going to bring back my boyfriend? From before, like we saw sort of top down. Now we are starting with the feet. As the camera goes from the feet all the way up across where Betty is then sitting all the way up to the top, and we see Bruce doing a Shrinky Dink. Like the Hulk is basically like compressing down back into his Bruce-sized shape.
Did you like the callback to the earlier part of the movie?
Oh,
we talked about when we first saw the Hulk for the first time in the bottling plant, and what's the shot we see? His foot.
That's right. Ripping
and
through
now
the shoe.
We start with the feet. Yes,
yeah.
And now we start with the feet, and this is a really
cool.
nice again.
Yeah, and the blood. Once again, we talk about like as the color changes, we see the green veins and really thick veins all through his leg and up into his chest and even on his face. There's really nice, dark veins as the blood is slowly turning back into the right color. So as we saw, they were pumping out the color changes in Hulk. Now they're reversing and getting it back to his normal peachy color.
Well, and even when we say, I know a lot of times we talk about these shots, and we always say, like, look, we put this in the perspective of when it was done, and I know we've been kind of critical of like certain scenes.
Yeah.
This is really this looks really good.
I think the untransformation
they did a nice job with it.
Looks better than the transformation.
Yes, absolutely.
Some of like in that first one. So I guess that was what 78 or so, when he was doing like his full on like when it ends with the ended with the scream. Yeah, it's a little rough. I mean, like obviously it's not the easiest thing to make a person turn into another person, especially one that's giant and green. But I feel like this transformation back looks like you watch it and go, yes, that's exactly what it should look like. Right. So then when it gets all the way back to, we even see some really nice color work. I mean, I don't know if this is a different team or whatever that is taking the green to the gray to the white almost, and then back to sort of normal peach. We see that slow color. I also like the fact that Bruce didn't be like, "Oh, hey guys, what happened?" Like he sort of like wakes up like, "Oh." Right. Like, what?
His long nightmare is over. He's woken up.
Yeah, exactly. And it says, I mean, I've a couple of the lines written down, but I really just love the hi, hi. That's the two of them are just like, oh, we made it through that thing. Oh, okay.
Do you also notice just a nice little callback here? Immediately kicks in their love theme.
Oh, I didn't notice
so
that.
I know that's something we haven't talked totally about, and as we've been finding our way with this.
Yeah.
The soundtrack, which it doesn't have. I don't think it has it doesn't have a predominant theme that you could say, oh, hear it and go, oh, Hulk, right, or specifically Incredible Hulk from this movie. Mm-hmm. But this love theme, it does have a very specific melody, and you hear it start to seep into the scene. And I thought that was really nice, too. Really nice. Again, nice bringing the full circle of what we've seen of their relationship in the past, and now where it's trying to be repaired.
Yeah. I also, one of the things I like that Stearns is super excited about this whole thing. And he says, it's fantastic. Like he's so excited about this thing as this horrible traumatic physical thing has happened to Bruce. He's like, oh boy, the data I collected, this is amazing. I just love that he's this amoral scientist that they have helping them.
Oh, I think you clearly get this in the last few minutes. Mm-hmm. That his motives are not pure.
Yeah. We're definitely seeing that he's definitely seeing them as test subjects and not as like people.
Yeah, I mean, this is not no, and I mean, there's more yet to come, right? But I think this is pretty shown that he's definitely got motives that are just not very humane.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, and I think we're going to be seeing that in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, probably.
Previews, spoilers.
But I also love this though as we get to the final shot of them before they end the minute with the transition scene. Mm-hmm. Beautiful shot of Betty on top of Bruce. Mm-hmm. Bruce has got it's a profile shot. Mm-hmm. It's a little askew, so something's not quite right.
Yep.
Right, there's that technique,
Dutch angle.
But you've got all the great vein work on him, on his head and everything. You see all that. She just looks beautiful. She's looking at him so lovingly. Mm-hmm. He's just there like taking it in. And then the blur in the back is Stearns, and he's just looking at them, not totally creepily, but dude, what are you doing here?
Creeper.
It's a nice. I got a special place in my heart for the composition of the scenes in this movie. Like, I think that's nicely done. That is nicely framed in terms of a shot.
And as any time in this movie, when something nice or calming happens, we cut to the military.
Oh wait, what? Oh, that's right. I forgot.
I mean, it doesn't end with them like, we're okay. No, it ends with helicopters flying over New York.
Helicopters.
General Ross has arrived at NYC.
I mean, an overhead shot of a street, and helicopters start going from the bottom of the screen to the top of the screen, and that's the minute.
That's the minute. That's literally when the minute ends.
So that's it? Is that all we got to talk about?
But no.
Wait,
because there's a deleted scene that goes right in here. Because you're thinking to yourself, sure, we've seen like Bruce is now cured and everything's fine. But what is Blonsky doing? What is General Ross doing? And what is my favorite character, Major Sparr, doing? Well, we got to find out. There's another minute. Another one, once again, another grave injustice done to the character of Major Sparr.
What is the deal with this?
I'm telling you, the Sparr Appreciation Society is in full effect here because she has another brilliant scene that's totally cut out of the movie.
I have a real issue with this too because it shows something.
Yeah,
the character takes a turn.
Yep.
That I really was surprised at, and I'm disappointed again that these scenes are not in the movie. But anyway.
Yeah. So if you want to find the deleted scene, it's called "On the Hulk Hunt." You can find it on the Blu-ray, the digital release, or I believe you can track it down on the YouTubes. So in the lead scene, one of the things that's interesting is that we find out that the military and Ross have learned from their mistakes. Like they're going after him. They actually have a different plan that they had before. It's not just like, hey, it's not Operation More Bullets Part 2. They actually have a strategy for this. So and obviously Sparr lays it out, so I'm not going to do everything because you can watch the minute and find out what it is. But their plan is they're going to try and catch him inside the building because they know he's in. They know he's with Stearns because they already have identified Stearns from if you remember back to the SHIELD database going into the Matrix thing. Then so they figure they're in the lab too, so they know exactly where he is. So they're going to try and take him inside if they can. If they can't, they're going to wait until he leaves and try and get him then. And they're talking about snipers, so they're probably going to try and trank him from a snipe position. If that doesn't work, they're gonna pull back. Right. They're out. Like, okay, that didn't work. So what we're going to do, if that doesn't work, then what they're going to do is follow him with plainclothes officers until he gets to a remote location and then try and take him again. Holy crap. That's a good plan.
Well, except, though, do these plainclothes officers have hoverboards? Do they have jetpacks?
Well, maybe. Hey, if they're using Stark Tech, who knows what kind of stuff they have. But she says, under no circumstances is Banner to be engaged directly. Whoa! Holy cow! I'm like, it's actually a pretty good plan.
And clearly unanimous.
You know who doesn't like this plan?
Wait, what? No, there's someone who doesn't like that plan?
Yeah, it turns out that Mr. Emil Blonsky is not a big part of this plan. So he asks a very simple question. What if he goes nuclear?
Ooh.
You can do that, huh? And so Ross has to be like, oh come on. I mean, he's never turned unless he's been cornered or hurt. Okay, all right. That's what you're going on. All right. He apparently killed 2 cops in Idaho, but
yeah, remember we talked about that.
Yeah. If he runs, we fall back and we let him go. Oh my God! Ross says we let him go.
Right.
And then Blonsky says, "Not much of a rematch, is it?" Like, he is looking for the fight.
Yeah.
And then so Sparr goes in and says, there's 1.5 million people in a 3-block radius. You want to take that thing out here? And for a second, you see Blonsky go, oh yeah, okay. Like the sanity resumes just for a second. Like, oh right, soldier, don't want to kill innocent people. Okay, right, cool, it's cool. I'm cool. And then so look, Sparr kind of like. I wrote in my notes, Soto Voce. She leans over to Ross like, are you sure about your boy?
Did you not think? Now, to me, that's the craziest line in the scene.
Oh.
Because right there.
Subordinate to...
He's sitting. Ross is sitting down. She's standing over him. And she looks at him.
She's giving the briefing to all these soldiers.
No, she's done the briefing and she looks at him and goes, are you sure about your boy?
Uh-huh.
The entire dynamic changes right there.
Yeah. This goes back to that moment. That deleted scene where she rejoins the thing where he's where they talk about the cracks in the wall. This is a direct continuation of that thing of her being reinvested in this thing and
yes.
how their dynamic had changed. And so we don't see any of that in this. She's just literally there for exposition.
Yeah,
Major Sparr, you deserve better.
No, this is such a great scene. Yes, I love it just for that.
And, okay, so Ross gets the last word, of course, because he's Ross. And another great line, which I don't know if this is Edward Norton line or not, but he says, I need a dog in the hunt that won't run from the bear if it shows up. Okay, all right, that's pretty cool. He says, if we play this right, we'll never need to let him off the leash. Okay, you know what? Ross is being very tactical in this, and I kind of like that he's not, crazed. And it's he actually has a different kind of plan for what it is. Now, I can understand why they cut that in terms of they want to have him be much more like Thunderbolt Ross by the time they get to New York. Not that he's the calm military who has a definite plan that he's going to try and go through, because we're going to see that his plan is not this plan at all by the time they get to New York.
But don't we also think, though, he's toning it down because now he knows there's real collateral damage that could happen with his daughter?
You'd hope so.
I mean, you would think. I'd hope.
Yeah.
Okay, so can I make one addendum to this? There was one moment where I thought, okay, no, I would have liked this to be the verbiage. When Blonsky says, what if he goes nuclear? because I'd never seen the scene before, and I was like, "Oh wait, I totally want to see this happen." I wanted Ross to look at him and go, "Well, what do you suggest?" And then Blonsky looks at him and goes, "Then we go nuclear."
Oh, yeah.
And I thought that would have been pretty awesome, right?
Yeah.
Because then you could have had Sparr go, "Are you sure about this?"
Yeah. Looking between the two of them, like,
I just
can
thought
we turn the testosterone down?
Yeah,
a little bit,
I
boys?
did. I thought that's exactly where they were going with that, because I'm like, well, that's it again. Blonsky, interesting phrasing coming out of his mouth, right?
Right.
Anyway, it's still great. It's still great for the Sparr scene.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a great scene. I wish they would have kept this in there too.
Yes.
I mean, after spending so much time with Bruce and Betty and the transformation thing, but I guess having watched 8 minute 81, I can kind of see where they want to keep that rolling, and they want to have this because this deleted scene is like 1.5 minutes long. So to keep the pace of where they went in the last 5 minutes up and what's coming in the next 2, I can kind of see why they wanted to stay with Bruce and Betty, because I mean he's the main character.
Totally.
But anyway, so it's definitely worth checking out, though. I mean, I would say go online and try to track it down on the Hulk hunt. In the meantime,
Kyle, let me ask you a question.
yes, sir.
I know we've done all our talk about merch, right?
Oh, lots of that.
And there's just great stuff there. You know what I think it's time we have to really seriously talk about?
What's that?
A Sparr shirt. Who has made a shirt that could be a fitting tribute
Right.
to this character who deserved more?
Yes, this long-suffering character who put up with so much crap, and yet was so. There's no other character in the movie who has been so abused
Maligned.
by having her scenes cut than Major Sparr.
Leonard, maybe.
Well,
Could we do a Sparr Leonard shirt?
no. Sparr deserves her own shirt.
Okay, that's
Leonard
true.
can have his own shirt too, but the Sparr Appreciation Society demands merch. And to see if that actually came true,
The sack? The Sparr.
okay, maybe I haven't thought this through.
We clearly don't ever think these through.
We need a better acronym. Sparr demands a better acronym than that.
We're on it.
So, to find out what that is, because at the time of the recording, even we don't know, you can go to thenextreel.com/merch. You can get whatever that will be, along with other Marvel Movie Minute merchandise. So if you go to thenextreel.com/merch, you'll find whatever that's going to be, plus Marvel Movie Minute, Next Reel, and who knows what other kind of things will be there by the time. And because of the way we have things set up, you can get logos on whatever you want them to. You want them on a phone case? You want them on a sticker? You want them on a magnet? You want them on a pillow that you can rest your head next to our screaming faces? You can do so. Nextreel.com/merch. Check it out. So thanks all for listening. We'll see you back here for minute 81. Hope you had a smashing good time. Until next time, true believers.
Bye.